This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow Manchild. Usually I'm going to call him Johnny Karlic, but for today, I'm going to call him Mr. J. How you doing today, Mr. J?
Wubba lubba dub dub. I'm like, wait, am I supposed to figure out a Joker line real quick?
No, I mean, you could. I mean, Birds of Prey, we're going to talk about it, so
I don't know
thought,
if I want to attempt the Joker line right now.
I'd throw you Mr. J in there, which, good thing, and we'll get to it more in that one. It seems like they're moving away from Jared Leto Joker. I've got some facts about the movie that I will spit off during that one.
Like,
but
is that facts CT or facts with a Q?
Facts, both. No, it's with a CT. Facts with a Q is frequently asked questions, which if you have any questions, shoot them down below in the comment section. But welcome into the Rick and Johnny podcast, your one-stop shop for everything entertainment, everything TV, movies, cartoons, gaming. We talk about everything underneath the two nerdy suns. And we got a jam-packed show for you guys today. Going to be talking more Spider-Man because you can never get enough Spider-Man. We talked about last week, well, the last 2 weeks. If you go back 2 weeks ago, Dave and I reacted to the news Spider-Man not being in the MCU. Last week, Johnny and I talked about the Marvel side of it, what they will now do, because apparently it is now kiboshed completely. Spider-Man is not coming back. Like, that door has been closed. We'll get into that, as well as the TV side of things, because Sony has 6 to 7 Spider-Man TV shows lined up in production. We're going to talk all about it. Then we're going to look at the Birds of Prey trailer, give our reactions to it. It's the first real, we got the teaser early on. This is our first big trailer for it, although it's only a half a minute long. We're going to dive into that. And then we will end the show talking about comments made by Kristen Stewart during an interview with Variety, where she did it with Anthony Mackie. That's Falcon's name, right? The actor who plays Falcon. I said his first name. I'm like, is his first name Anthony? Anthony Mackie. And in the interview, they asked Mackie what superhero he could see Kristen Stewart playing. She very excitedly said a gay one. So we're going to talk about, could Kristen Stewart play the first gay superhero, or the first LGBT, be politically correct there, superhero in either Marvel, DC, or on the silver screen whatsoever. If you want to help support us, make sure to check out patreon.com/Most Valuable Podcast. Almost forgot the name to our own Patreon page. For $10, you can join us at the gold tier, where you get to join us for a topic of your choosing. You bring the topic, you join the discussion. Silver tier, you get to suggest topics. And then at the bronze tier, you get to join us on our Discord channel, where we're talking to people like Sam, we're talking to Pat, we're talking to Retro, we're talking to Giannis, who's also there. You guys could join our awesome community for as low as $1. But Johnny, let's jump into the Spider-Man stuff first, because the ultimate thing we're going to get into, and if you're on YouTube, you might be thinking we'll get to it, but there's stuff we got to unpack first. The thing we're going to get to is the 7 Spider-Man TV, or Spider-Man, I should say, TV series that Sony has in development right now. We're going to talk about those, but the first thing I want to dive into is comments made by the Sony chairman and CEO. I'm going to fuck up his last name. I'm sorry. Tony Vinciquerra, I think is his name. He did an interview, and in that interview, it was, this is what it was, Variety's Entertainment and Tech Summit. And he basically admitted that for the moment, the door is closed. He also remarked that it's a long life, which sounds like another way of saying never say never. A big quote from that, 2 of them are, number 1, we had a great run with Feige on Spider-Man movies. We tried to see if there's a way to work it out. The Marvel people are terrific people. We have great respect for them. But on the other hand, we have pretty terrific people of our own. Kevin didn't do all the work. Then the second one, Spider-Man is fine before the event movies did better with the event movies. And now that we have our own universe, we will play off of other characters as well. I think we're pretty capable of doing what we have to do here. So, Johnny, first thing I want to ask you about these comments. Exactly. I want to ask you with these comments is basically, is this kind of him throwing a little bit of shade at Marvel and Kevin Feige, or does he have something to stand on? Which, hey, our universe is going to be good, and it can't be the best. It can't reach its full potential without Spider-Man.
I mean, that part's true. It cannot reach its... I don't want to talk in the mic.
Got to talk in the microphone.
They can still hear me to some degree. Just like it'd be like I'm in the room, maybe like 5 feet away, maybe 6, and
they're like, "What? What'd you say, Johnny? Huh?"
And just turn the volume up then.
Man, Ricky sounds really loud compared to Johnny.
You have to play the toggle game.
Yeah, turn it up for Johnny, turn it down for Ricky. But no, go ahead with what you were saying.
Or just put closed captioning on, then you can hear us both.
Hey, that sounds like a good idea. Somebody out there that's got more free time than me. Anyone can do it. Any fan could, like, anyone watching a movie could put in closed captioning
is
on
just
YouTube.
like an all automatic thing.
Yeah, like anyone could edit the closed captioning on a YouTube video.
I was more so saying it doesn't just
for our audio
automatic.
listeners. Then no, there's no closed captioning.
No, I'm saying on YouTube it doesn't automatically close caption.
It tries, but like you can, if you want it to be exactly correct, you can edit it yourself.
Okay, good to know. Okay, back to what we were talking about.
Go ahead.
Where was I going with that? Oh, so anyways, yeah, they can't do their full thing without Spider-Man. But is it not Kevin Feige? I mean, yeah, they probably do have a bunch of great people of their own, but let's look at what you guys did before. Mm-hmm. The best, in my opinion, you've done so far is Venom.
Yeah, I mean, Dave and I talked about this Friday night at dinner, where it was, if we're looking just at the Spider-Man movies they've done, and I know that it's not their Spider-Verse, and if you're using that as the if de facto beginning, Venom wasn't terrible, but I think there's something to be said that the critics didn't like it. Yeah. And I know that like the critics aren't their opinion is the only one that that's the word I was looking for. Like the audiences loved it, but I wonder if the audience loved it only because it's like, holy shit, this is the first time we've seen an actual pretty good Venom on the screen.
I mean, that could play into it, but I actually thought the
only other Venom we got to compare it to is Topher Grace's Venom.
Yeah. Now, I mean, yeah, that's part of the plays into the hype. I thought it was a pretty good movie overall, though.
Mm-hmm. Like Venom, it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I didn't have any qualms with it, but it could have been. It did have places where it could have been improved, and I'm hoping bringing Andy Serkis in for number 2 fixes some of those.
That and maybe delve a little bit more and play around, maybe actually thinking about making it rated R.
Exactly.
Like the initial intent was to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if you're going to have Carnage, you're going to have to make it rated R, right?
I would hope so. Otherwise, I don't know how well you're going to play off Carnage other than making him Red Venom.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, technically he kind of is, but
he's a lot more like vicious and a lot more. He's got
for sure.
Personality of Cassidy.
Oh no,
that's a serial killer that makes him
literally
way different.
Because that one actually says "I am Carnage," right? As opposed to "We are Venom."
Yeah.
Because Venom knows it's not its host.
Where Carnage is like, no, I'm me. Like it's all about me. Mm-hmm. Where Venom is like, we're a collective group. I can't do me without you. Carnage is like, no, man, you can't do me without me. And the other thing, kind of diving into it too, is the reason why I was like, oh, well, that's just a slap in the face is I get what he's saying with the, oh, well, Kevin Feige didn't do all the work.
Yeah, no.
And he even mentioned too in that interview that he's like, Feige, the thing with Marvel is they're spread too thin, meaning Feige's focusing on a ton of different things. And I would think that is a benefit to Kevin, or a positive to Kevin Feige, that he's able to work on so many different things and not have one be a major flop. Now, do we get a Thor the Dark World? Yes, but how long has it been since a Thor the Dark World has happened?
Yeah.
Phase 2?
Yeah.
And it's like we've never seen a Marvel movie be like a major flop of a movie. They've all been pretty, like, at the worst, a Marvel flop is like, oh, that movie, like, oh, Ant-Man, it was pretty good. Like, that's what I heard from people. It's like, oh, it was pretty good. On the other end, it's like, oh my God, this movie's amazing. And I get why he said, like, oh, Kevin didn't do all the work, because you want to make it seem like we at Sony have got people that are going to work on this. But I just question it because of what I've said before. The Sam Raimi movies, the best thing about them is they were true to the comic. But like Dave said, you look at Sam Raimi and it's like, is he even that good? How much? Like Dave's like, how much work has he been in recently? And I looked at his director stuff, hasn't directed stuff since like 2013. I think his last thing was a short in 2014. And the last thing he was a producer on was that movie Crawl that came out a little while ago. The one with the alligator.
Yeah.
And Dave's like, see, that was a shitty movie.
Was it? Or was
I don't know.
Dave watching reviews?
I don't know. Maybe it's Dave watching reviews and then spewing out those, but I didn't see it. It didn't look like it was going to be a movie that enticed me because it just looked like a very dull. What's that movie? There's another movie too where it was like a tiger or something. And it's the same premise of like, oh, girl trapped in the house with some animal and she's got to escape it. It's a video I watched on YouTube from a movie where she's like in an air duct and then her phone starts ringing and then the tiger comes back. I'm pretty sure it was a tiger. I just watched it because I'm like, oh my God, is it going to get her? Kind of a thing. But my point being, the Sam Raimi movies, another reason why I feel like I hold them in so high regard is I was young. I loved seeing that Spider-Man authentic comic book on the TV. Then The Amazing Spider-Man, I'm sorry, Andrew Garfield was not the version of Spider-Man that I wanted. And those movies weren't exactly the best movies in my mind. One was better than two, but still it wasn't like I was in love with that Spider-Man, where this version of Spider-Man I feel has been the best Spider-Man that we've seen in our lifetime on the silver screen, at least.
I can definitely agree Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man so far.
And kind of the thing I want to segue into is, yes, they want to bring Tom Holland into the movie verse. They want to do, I have it right here, where, actually, before I get into that, little snippet I want to throw out is, apparently, there are reports initially claimed, let's see, let me see it, that one of the pieces that influenced Spider-Man leaving Marvel was Disney's Fox purchase. Might have influenced, a report by IndieWire claims that Disney's purchase of Fox influenced the decision to have Spider-Man leave the MCU. When Sony Pictures chairman and CEO Tony Vinciquerra talked about the split with Marvel, he mentioned that Feige had been stretched incredibly thin because of the characters they acquired by buying 20th Century Fox. This comment echoes a previous statement from Sony when they said the many new responsibilities that Disney has given him, being Feige, including all their newly added Marvel properties, do not allow time for him to work on IP they do not own, end quote, which I see that as BS because they're going to make their MCU the best it can be, and you're just jealous you can't use Spider-Man in your Spider-Verse. That's what I read into that.
It's like not even that, like that's not how that like situation
John
works.
is like, that's not how that, it's like if someone says, oh, car, you make go. You put water in and make go. You're sitting there going, but that's not how it works.
That's like saying putting more bricks to a wall will make it weaker.
What?
Let's put it this way.
Johnny's like, exactly.
You're building exactly right. You're building a wall. Yes. Oh, putting more bricks to make it thicker will make the wall weaker. No, we've got more characters to make this MCU stronger.
Exactly.
We have more characters. No,
and we can have them play.
It's not going to spread thin because
we can have them play with each other too.
Exactly. You have Feige setting all this up. We have all these you have a bunch of separate directors.
Yeah. I mean, the Russos are the mains, but
It's like the Russos.
Did you almost say the Ruples?
I almost said the Rupos.
The Ruples.
My tongue didn't want to say Russos.
The Russos are the main ones at the
and then
top.
you have Feige. Then you have all the directors that are like there to control. Then you have like Andy Serkis is like slightly higher there because he delves into little pieces of everything.
Yeah. I mean, you've got tiers to the directors.
You got tiers to this, so it's not like...
You've got Ryan Coogler, because only Ryan Coogler... Like, you don't want the Russos directing Black Panther 2. No, you want a guy like Ryan Coogler directing
They're just the top guys. This is how our MCU lays out. You got Feige kind of like checking in on everything, giving his input. You have the director there who is running the movie.
Yeah.
This is how it works. So they're not spread thin. And now we have more intellectual properties to play with. You're adding more bricks to the wall. And now you have Sony taking a brick out and going, you have too many bricks, man. It's gonna this wall's gonna be too weak.
Taking a brick out, that's not gonna make the wall
Sorry,
fall.
guys.
It won't, because
you took that one brick out. The Russos will find a way around it.
Exactly. And there's people already saying that I didn't read the article, so don't. This is one of those read the headline, didn't read the article. So great fucking podcasting by Ricky.
Good job.
But there was even a headline I saw that apparently the loophole at the end of Far From Home could be the ending to Far From Home could be a perfect loophole to why Spider-Man disappeared.
Maybe that's...
Hey, my identity was found. I have to go into hiding.
Exactly. Maybe that's why they did that, because they're like, okay, our contract's up. This leaves us...
No, I think they did it because it was going to lead into the story.
Well, that too, but I mean, it's kind of like a perfect out right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to buy in totally on that. But I do agree that maybe a little bit was like hey.
Played into it. Like I'm not saying that's the reason they did it, but it plays into like, yeah, you know what? Well, we should maybe do that so we can. You know what? I can always hope that this just happens. I'll just send you this meme. I'll send you. So
I'm gonna read it for our audio listeners. The meme says Marvel Studios doesn't have the rights to X-Men because they were sold to Fox. Disney buys Fox. Sony owns Spider-Man and is refusing to make deals. Disney, I'll fucking do it again. Yeah, that's another thing that he didn't mention when people asked.
I'll fucking do it again.
The CEO and
in case anyone gets that reference.
Yeah, the goofy. What am I thinking? CEO and what's his other title? Whatever it is, chairman and CEO. He even made a reference during that interview that Sony will never be bought by Disney.
Really?
Yes,
Aww.
because that's the hope that people are like, well, if you're not going to play nice, we'll just hope Disney buys you and gets back Spider-Man. And he kind of said that will never happen. Like, this is not for sale. You will never get it. Which I kind of sit
you mean
there.
Sony said it's not for sale?
Exactly, yeah. Their chairman. Which I sit there
I thought you
and
meant
I
the
go,
Disney chairman. Like, that's
no.
thing
Bob
to say.
Iger now is sitting there going, challenge accepted, motherfucker.
He just keeps
challenge
throwing down
accepted.
hundreds.
Exactly. Exactly. The last thing I want to mention before we get into the TV things, this may be our longest topic of the day because there's so much to pack into this. Did you hear what the Russos said about the Spider-Man stuff?
No.
So the Russos, and I found the article, here it is. I found the article on Facebook, and of course I didn't save it. So they were asked about the Spider-Man breakup, and they had mentioned that... Oh, and I want the exact quote. Oh, right here. I think this is it. Yeah. I think this is it. Yeah, I'm just going to read it. We don't know how things are playing out on the inside level. We fought hard to bring Spider-Man into the MCU, but it was already a complicated marriage. We're thrilled that... Nope, this is not the quote. Basically, the quote that I'm just going to paraphrase it.
There you go. That's a good idea.
From what they said is the Russos were very big on bringing Spider-Man in. And the thing that they said was Kevin Feige would like walk into their office after talking to Sony. And he was like, it was almost like Kevin Feige wanted the Russos to say, hey, we found a way we can do it without Spider-Man. Because then Kevin Feige can say, great, I don't have to work with Sony to try to get this to happen. This is even before Homecoming. But he's like, he would come in and we'd be like, we need Spider-Man. And he's like, he would just look at us and go, okay, I'll make it work. And then walk right into his office. And the Russos were like, we shouldn't be mad that it's over. We should be happy and excited and dancing on the table that it happened in the first place. Because a marriage like this, they're like, we knew it wasn't going to last forever. And the fact that it happened in the first place is amazing. And that to me is like, holy shit. Like Tony Vinciquerra, I said his name like four different ways on this podcast. That's why his comments at Kevin Feige, I'm like, hey, don't take stabs at the Feige because Feige be doing great work for Marvel. And I do get there's some people out there that think we put Kevin Feige on a pedestal because he made a couple good movies and the MCU is what it is, but I think he kind of deserves to be on that pedestal because of what he's been able to do. Let's now move into the big thing I wanted to talk about with this. Is Sony now spreading itself too thin or biting off more than I can chew with its Spider-Man stuff? Because we know that they want to bring Tom Holland into their Spider-Verse, into their Venom-Verse. They want to do the storylines of Maximum Carnage. They also want to do Kraven's Last Hunt with the Kraven film that is in production. Speaking with Variety, though, the Tony Vinciquerra, who we've talked about all podcasts so far, revealed that Sony is currently working on 5 to 6. Some articles have even said 7 TV series set in the Spider-Man world. The question I'm going to ask you to start, Johnny, are they spreading themselves too thin? And before you answer, one thing I forgot. If you're sitting there thinking, but Ricky, how can Sony put out a Spider-Man TV series? Doesn't Marvel own the rights to Spider-Man on the TV side? It's a tricky situation. Anything under 30 minutes, Marvel puts out. So, for example, What If? Those will be 30-minute episodes. They could do a Spider-Man What If because they own the rights to that. But if it's anything over, so live action 40, live action 60 minutes, Sony does that. So these are going to be live action 40 to 60 minute TV series. Are they biting off more than they can chew? You're thinking about just making an MCU Spider-Man TV series, aren't you?
No, MCU. So you said what if it's only like 30 minutes long? What if Spider-Man was owned by Marvel or Disney?
They could do that. What if?
That would be hilarious.
But what do you
That's
think?
what I started laughing about.
Are they biting off more than they can chew with
know what?
5 to 6 to 7 Spider-Man TV series?
Well, first off, what channel or whatever, it's like TV station, does Sony have that they put their shows and movies out?
That's number one. We don't know if it's going to be on a streaming service. We don't know if it's going to be network television. We don't know yet.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
they're playing their cards very close to the chest.
I'm trying to think what station or what they play their movies on. Like, where have I seen a Sony movie before? It
used to be FX. Now that's owned by Disney.
Exactly. So where are they playing their movies? So are they going? That's the first question then. But it's like, and if you guys know, write it down below so we can find out because I don't remember.
I'm assuming they'll make a deal with Netflix.
That's very true. They could do that
because Disney owns FX. Disney owns ABC.
They have huge tie-ins with Hulu.
Disney obviously owns Disney Channel, which the Marvel Ultimate Spider-Man is on.
You got what 3 or 4 different Disney channels out there.
Unless they do hey, it's on TNT, but TNT's all about TNT's all about drama. I don't really see that. I think it'll be more of
AMC.
Unless Sony is gonna drop, hey, we're coming out with our own streaming service. Yeah, Spider-Man streaming service for just the Spider-Man fans.
I don't know if I'd pay for that.
I think it's going to be on Netflix. Then.
It's got to be like Netflix or something because there's got to be something. I'm not sure what other streaming services they can go to. But anyways, let's get off that topic because it's like, if you guys got answers out there, again, like I said, drop them below. I don't know what channels on, let's say it's Comcast for me, for example. I think you're Comcast as well, right?
Yeah.
If the Comcast channels that Sony is tied in with, please put them down below because I can't remember any of them.
So I have a quote here about this
Okay,
that
cool.
I just
You
found
found it?
from Chris Miller, who was the executive producer of Into the Spider-Verse. And he's going to be working on one of these TV shows. And he says, we've been talking a lot about potential teammates for trying to do something not like anyone else that's been done before on television. Miller teased as he weaved away from being pinned down on Netflix or anything else, it'll be a little while before it comes together, but is on the air. And I think it is going to be something really special. They're trying to do something. Like he also says, hopefully we'll know more in the next few months where it'll be and what the schedule will be. And all Miller would say when asked whether the eventual destination for multi-pronged projects could be Netflix. Basically, he wasn't giving a for sure answer. So we're all assuming it's going to be Netflix, but we don't know. Here's the thing I'm thinking, though, and this is why I think they are spreading themselves too thin. Give me one first.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Give me one that's rock solid first because, I mean, I'm looking at an article here on Screen Rants, and there's rumors that there's going to be a Silk one, Night Watch, Jackpot. Maybe they do I know they wanted to do Black Cat and Silver Sable as a movie. What if they do that as a TV series? Like, instead, what if they give us an Into the Spider-Verse TV series? Give me one first. That's what I want. Like, I feel like Sony, this is all going to fail because Sony made a deal with Marvel because they needed to pump up the Spider-Man brand. Mm-hmm. Marvel helped them pump up this brand. Now Sony, hey, we're going to beat our chest because Spider-Man is so big and popular, but you haven't done anything to prove to me that these words and these promises, these TV series that you're talking about, are going to be good. It's kind of like the girlfriend who says, hey, I love you, da-da-da. She's spilling out her emotions, and you're like, but you haven't shown me any of this, so I can't believe you. That's kind of how I feel, where it's like, give me one, make it special before you start talking about 5 or 6. Give me one, let me know about that one, and then after that one is really good, then start telling me you have more in development. That's how I feel about it.
I'll put it this way. You've had since 2016, May of 2016, when Spider-Man first came into the MCU, and the only thing you've given me in 3 years, I'll go with 3 years, is Venom. You've had all this time to at least pump out, let's say, 2 movies. You could have given me 2 Spider-Man movies in this time.
Apparently...
Well, Spider-Man movies.
Well, I know, but like...
To show that, like, hey, yeah, we're ready too.
Yeah, and the tricky thing about that, though, is they sold the rights to Marvel.
No, but I'm saying... They did a Venom movie. Give me the
Black Cat, because that was supposed to come out and then got bumped. And then
give me the Black Cat Silver Sable. Give me a Craven movie or something. Give me a you have all these other properties that go around Spider-Man that you could have set up.
I see what you're doing. Okay,
and you've only given me one movie. Which I admit that was a good movie. I thought Venom was a good movie. You've given me one movie to go off of if this is gonna go well, or if it's just gonna all go south.
Yeah, and really that wasn't a knock out of the park.
Venom, yeah, exactly. You didn't knock it out of the park. Would say, okay, I'm ready for this. You got me like, I think you maybe have a chance, but I'm not sure. You have me on the fence right now because you didn't do anything except one movie.
Yeah, no, and that's something to where it's like we're all kind of...
Because you can't tell me fans didn't get excited in 2016 when they saw Spider-Man on the screen and that popularity just went...
Homecoming, I was maybe way too high on it. When I gave it a 5 out of 5 in our review and like Dave getting pissed off at me at how giddy I was And like I was watching that movie like I was a fucking little kid.
Hey, you get giddy if you like the movie.
I know. Fuck yeah. I
No,
love
I'm
that
saying
movie.
go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I know. I love that movie. And like seeing Spider-Man actually like be really fucking good. With me, I feel like Sony, this is kind of a discussion of, yes, they're spreading themselves too thin. And I know that's ironic because what did Vince Akira say about Kevin Feige? That he spread himself too thin. But guess what Kevin Feige has done? He can show us, and he has showed us that, hey, I have spread myself thin, but I can do it.
Because let's say it, up until the first Avengers movie, we were like, okay, let's see how this is going. Because no one knew of Iron Man. People sort of knew Captain America.
We didn't even think it would become an MCU.
Not until
we were just happy to get superhero movies.
Yeah, we were happy.
Marvel.
Exactly, we were happy to get Marvel superhero movies
that were actually pretty good.
And then the Avengers hit. It's like, okay, this thing's going great. And after that, it just all kept taking off from there.
Yeah, I mean, you keep piggybacking. Like, of course, there's always duds. Like the Hulk movie, I would say, is a dud. Thor: The Dark World, I would say, is a dud. But those are probably the only two for sure that I would say were.
You talk about like
were big duds.
The Incredible Hulk with Norton, or
yeah, with Norton.
Okay,
the solo movie, the only solo movie in the MCU we got with him, was a dud.
No, because I was about to say, just so they know too, or to remind them that one before that with Ang Lee as director
is not MCU.
Not MCU.
Yeah, the MCU starts with Iron Man.
I think they reference it just because it was kind of sort of movie source material, but that was about it.
How many people like the thing Marvel had to basically do from the beginning is we have to kind of reintroduce you to these characters,
or just introduce you in general.
Exactly.
Because I knew of Iron Man, but I didn't know a lot about him.
Yeah,
until the movies came out.
Me and Captain America, where it's like I knew of Captain America, but I was more of a Batman guy. Like, and that's the thing. Like DC, they can throw a Batman movie out there. They don't have to fucking tell us or show us that his parents died, and that's why I loved Homecoming. We didn't see Uncle Ben die for the millionth time.
You want to see him get riced again?
No, no, I don't need to see that. I know what happened. Give me the little, like, in Far From Home, the little thing on the suitcase that, oh, this is Ben's suitcase.
Yeah,
perfect.
Little hints that, hey, Uncle Ben was there.
Last thing I'll ask you before we go into Birds of Prey, though. You are now Tony Vincent Cara. It's a huge step up for Sony because they've actually got a CEO that can actually... You know,
put me in these positions. I don't even get paid for it.
No, you don't get paid for it at all. Free labor. Free labor.
Labor. Free labor.
No, but
or is it like labor, like le pig?
Yeah, le pig. Labor, like a le pig. I like that one. Spider pig, Spider ham. What are you gonna do? Let's say you are in control of 7 TV series. Spider-Man universe. What do you do? What stories, what characters
does it only
use?
have to be TV series, or can I like do a MCU or flip-flop of movies and TV series?
I'm going to say that the Sony TV series that you have in production, what would they be? What would the 5, 6, or 7, your choice for number, what would they be? I'm throwing you in.
I don't even think I have 7.
Then give me any number you can think of, because that'd be better than what we've got now. Because I don't even think they've got 7.
Shit. I think Kraven's Last Hunt would be one, but I can only make. I would only think I could make that last like a season. That's the problem with that one. Is like, yeah, that'd be great. So it'd be like, Kraven's Last Hunt, and then it'd be like a season long, and then it'd be it. I think a Sinister Six one would be cool. Like the first like 6 episodes at that point, maybe 7 episodes, or like first season would be just introducing the characters and forming the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
You can make that one work because like you have to show who Scorpion is and yada, yada, yada. I mean, I don't think they can go off the MCU's Vulture, so you'd have to reintroduce the Vulture. You'd have to reintroduce Mysterio or whatever lineup you're going to do. You have to introduce your 6 characters. And then that, God, I'm trying to think. I don't know if a Venom series would be worthwhile, especially since you did the Venom movie. And I would want to keep like Venom versus Carnage as a movie as well. But the problem with doing Maximum Carnage is you have to do the Venom versus Carnage movie first because you didn't introduce Carnage. Unless you use that movie to introduce Carnage and then have the Maximum, like you said, it was Maximum Carnage.
Yeah.
Have like a Maximum Carnage storyline, which I don't know what that one is.
The Maximum Carnage?
Yeah.
I'll pull it up.
Okay, I was going to say, have that somehow lead into Venom versus Carnage.
So the Maximum Carnage, let's see. The story arc is, it's a short read, so I'll read it. Since the alien symbiote he was bonded with was destroyed during his capture, Cletus Cassidy is presumed powerless and jailed at Ravencroft Asylum. However, the symbiote mutated his blood prior to its destruction, enabling Cassidy to generate a copy of the symbiote and break out. During his escape, Cassidy, again calling himself Carnage, frees fellow inmate Shriek. Over the course of their ensuing killing spree through New York, they recruit Doppelganger, Demo Goblin, and Carrion. Carnage dubs himself their father, and in fact, they all despise Carnage and stay with the group out of devotion to Shriek. As the death toll increases, Spider-Man, Venom, Captain America, Black Cat, Night Watch, Cloak and Dagger, Iron Fist, Deathlock, Morbius, and Firestar all join the cause in stopping them. However, the heroes are polarized between Venom's desire to stop Carnage at all costs and Spider-Man's refusal to use violent methods. And Spider-Man ultimately abandons Venom to Carnage's mercies. In addition, Shriek uses his psychic powers to turn the populace of New York City into a bloodthirsty rabble, allowing the killers to continue their rampage with impunity. However, Carnage finally turns on the rest of the gang, and in the ensuing battle, Shriek is distracted from using her psychic powers. Taking advantage of the lull, the heroes acquire a device from Stark Industries, if I could speak English, which projects feelings of love and hope into the villains, overwhelming them. Carnage flees, faking his death by covering a victim in a mock symbiote costume, and the others are captured. Once the heroes are dispersed, Carnage ambushes Venom. However, the device has left Carnage frantic and confused, and Venom pounds him relentlessly before tackling him into an electric generator. Carnage is knocked senseless and left to be incarcerated.
Okay, so with that storyline, we can't do that one to introduce Carnage. But while you were saying that, and I'm going to have you read something. Hopefully you didn't click off of that because we're going to have you read something off of that one. You could hear me out on this one. So we had our Venom movie,
Yes.
which showed Cassidy in jail and Eddie Brock doing an interview.
Yeah.
Start off a TV series, 7 episodes maybe, of like start off with Eddie Brock doing an interview with him. Maybe they make and then have it the Carnage introduction TV series. Then do whatever that was called.
Maximum Carnage.
Thank you. I keep forgetting. And then you would have to obviously alter a decent amount of the storyline, or because you don't have Stark Industries to work off of.
You don't have Captain America.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't even think you can use Cloak and Dagger.
List off those superheroes again slowly.
So Spider-Man,
You can use that.
Venom,
Yeah.
Captain America.
Nope.
Black Cat,
Yes.
Night Watch.
I'm gonna say maybe just for now.
I'm gonna look up really quick. Yeah,
I got
Night
3.
Watch is a Spider-Man.
Okay, 4.
That's a Spider-Man. 1. Then Cloak and Dagger.
That's a no. That's
a
Fox.
So now it's Disney. Iron Fist,
No.
which you can't use. That's Disney. Deathlock, which that's a maybe. I don't know who would own. I don't know in the movie verse where Deathlock would fall. So we'll say he is a maybe.
Maybe for him.
Morbius you can use because they're
5.
making a Morbius movie. and then Firestarter, which is a mutant superhero. She was in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I'm going to say no, because it says here she acted as a member of Hellions, New Warriors, Avengers, and X-Men. I'm going to assume she's in the X-Men pool. If she's a mutant.
If she's a mutant, then no.
So I'm going to say no on that. So what? You have a maximum
5.
of Spider-Man, Venom, Black Cat, maybe Deathlock, and then Morbius. That's 4 or 5 out of those that you can use. And of course you can plug those, like some other ones in. Like we've seen Marvel do that before, where it's like, oh, he wasn't in the storyline in the comics, but it fits in their
they can do
continuity
that.
of the
So I mean,
MCU.
they could make that work, and just like you took out a few of them, and like I said, you're gonna have to like do Norman Osborn Industries, then Oscorp.
Yeah.
There we go.
Instead of Tony
Like
Stark.
steal something from Oscorp at that point or something. Yeah, that you're gonna have to go that route.
Osborn Industries.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't remember the name of it at first.
Here's the thing I want to throw out, though, that throws a wrench into all of that.
Yeah.
The movies.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Then
Do you do, and I'll ask this, do you do one TV series, one of the 7, that is maybe like, hey, the Venom movie's happening, this is happening in the background. Like, this is what's going on in the background. Kind of like an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. type thing early on, where it's like, hey, this is going on. We're going to reference the movie, but this is going on completely different, but at the same time to the Venom movie.
yeah. So that was my thought, though. Basically, is it would almost like coincide with the Venom movies per se. It was like, so you got the Venom movie. Now you have this 7 episode first season Carnage introduction. Then you have the Maximum Carnage.
Yeah. That's another thing.
No, wait.
How
then
long
you have Venom versus Carnage.
Okay.
Then no, wait. How was I going to do that?
You got to introduce Carnage.
Introduce Carnage.
Then you were going to have Venom go against Carnage, right?
Maybe, and
then have Carnage.
Then do
that's
Maximum
the
Carnage.
Maximum Carnage.
Yeah,
That's your
that worked.
three-prong
There you go.
attack. Here's,
so it'd be like
it's kind of like
movie, TV series when it comes to Carnage.
yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, 2 things that I have floating around my mind.
Okay.
To kind of put a kibosh on this. Number 1, very short and simple. They say they have 7. How many episodes each are these going to be? Are they going to be 13 episode series? Are they going to be more like mini series? And you're going to give me like 8 episodes that are like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I want to say this last season was like 8 episodes, maybe 10 episodes at the most. Hours, give me an hour and a half for that last one. It was a really good ride. Or you're going to be like Titans and DC, where it's like, oh, we're going to go more in that 13 episode range. That's number 1. The other question, this is the big one, is some of the characters I'm thinking that I would like to, because the Venom Carnage I'd stay away from, because they're going to do a movie on that.
Yeah.
Craven I'd stay away from, they're going to do a movie on that. They've got other characters like Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman. They've got, one I'd really love to see is Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, who we saw at the end of Into the Spider-Verse. Kind of the Spider-Man who can kind of jump through time and different universes. You also got Ghost Spider, which is Spider-Gwen. You also have the Scarlet Spider, which is Ben Reilly.
Silk.
You've got Silk. You've got Billy Braddock, which is Spider-Man UK. And then you also have Spider-Ham, which Peter Porker.
You mean Night Monkey?
Night Monkey. Which, hey, I think if Marvel wanted to use, they could make a Night Monkey movie, but I don't think we're going to get a Night Monkey movie. But I think one of them for sure is, I thought I heard it was going to be a Peter Porker movie, like animated Spider-Ham movie. But here's the thing, besides Spider-Ham, because he's the most different, Spider-Man UK I'd love to see. Scarlet Spider I'd love to see. And then basically it's Spider-Man 2099, Silk, Spider-Woman. That's already up to 5. But here's my question with all
Not
that.
Spider-Man Noir?
Maybe Spider-Man Noir. That would be an interesting one. But he kind of falls. I'll take Noir and put him into the Peter Porker category right now. And the reason why I'm doing that is I feel like most of these, how do you make them feel different from one another? Because the thing that I think of the CW, they have different shows that all coincide together. But Arrow is distinctly different than Supergirl, which is distinctly different than The Flash. Yes, they're all the CW show, like, layout. It's the same type of show. Like, that's not different. But Spider-Man is Spider-Man, no matter who's in it. Like, and I don't want it to feel like, oh, well, I'm watching Spider-Man UK, and the only thing that's different is his suit looks
It's got a
different.
British accent.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Spider-Man Noir and I think Spider-Ham are so unique to where you won't have that problem.
Yeah, those two you won't because like you got the literally the noir
and maybe
aspect to the one.
And
the other
maybe
one
like
is...
Silk and Spider-Woman maybe also get thrown over there because they're women. A Silk one, you know what I would love to see? I would fucking love to see a TV series, but Tom Holland would have to be involved in it. Because they have a little bit of a romance too, and they've kissed in the comics. Have a little romance, a little tiff between Silk and Spider-Man in a TV series.
Yeah, that would be
But you'd have to
interesting.
I feel like you'd have to get Tom Holland for that one. I wouldn't want to see, if you're going to have original Spider-Man, give me Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, if you're going to do Spider-Man UK, obviously give me a different guy. It doesn't have to be Tom Holland. But this is where you guys come in. We went long on this one. I didn't expect this one
to be this long.
to go as long. But I kind of had a feeling after we were talking about it that this was going to be our longest one for the podcast. So let us know what you guys are thinking down below about the Spider-Man news, the TV series. Are they spreading themselves too thin? But the more important one is, if you were in charge, give me the 5 to 6 to 7 Spider-Man series that you would want to see either on Netflix, on TV, wherever they're going to put them. Let us know what those would be down below.